Good afternoon, Colorado. Welcome to another edition of What's for Lunch. I'm your host, Larry Hers, and today I am fired up because I love food trucks. Today we got Rustic Nomads in here. We got Melita. We got Nate. We got Madison. Welcome.
We're so excited to be here.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so excited.
Should we start again?
None of us are caffeinated. That's how much excitement that is just natural right now.
We don't use caffeine here. We use other substances.
Energy.
I'll share that with you later. Off camera. None of that on camera. Who's going to give me a history?
So, I'm Nate. I'm the owner of Rustic Nomads, and this is my sister, and this is Madison here.
The adopted
little
sister.
sister.
I have to put the family dynamic in.
Absolutely. Couldn't do this without her. I mean, without both of them, honestly. So, couldn't be more thankful for that. I've been in the food service industry now for about 20 years. I was a mechanic for a while, and I got a business degree. So, kind of felt like food truck is the next step. And with the food we've been putting out and everything, I couldn't feel more blessed. I still eating the food every day. I love it.
When did you launch the truck?
So, launched the truck, signed all the paperwork a week before COVID. We actually got started mid-July, pushed the timeline back for everything, as you can imagine, between getting the parts, all the other fun stuff that goes in with it. But since I lost my job the first day of COVID, I was very appreciative to have something to work on to help not only...
Now, what would you have done if you didn't lose your job?
Probably gone back to my job, which was a great job, don't get me wrong, but this is so much more rewarding.
So the reason why I bring that up is so much of this show and our local BizBuzz show, the pandemic, of course, there's a lot of negative about it, but there's been a lot of positive that people get to do now their dream jobs because they lost their job that they were just, punching the clock, and then they were stuck at home. So they're like, well, I have all this time. I like to bake. Let's see if I can make a business out of that. And there's been dozens of them that have really become successful.
That's really cool.
Happy to hear that. I mean, admittedly, I'm really happy that we kind of beat the timeline on some of that because I've heard that food trucks are kind of skyrocketing and all that stuff. So to have the build that we got to my spec and everything, so thankful for that.
I went up and snuck on the truck. I've already posted some on the story on OCN Eats Instagram. Stunning. Like, I've been on a lot of food trucks, spotless. I'm like, what is going on? It's nicer than the kitchen at my restaurant was.
I appreciate that. We take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, it means a lot of sleepless nights.
Yeah.
I mean, we are out there, rain, snow, sunshine, cleaning that dang truck.
It looks brand new.
Thank you.
I mean, describe your concept. What are you going for here, food-wise?
Sure. So burgers and sandwiches is the easy way of describing it. I like to think it's so much more. My sister and I, we were military kids, and so that's part of where the food truck name Nomads comes from, moving every few years. But the joy in that has been that we got to try cuisine from all over. We lived in the Netherlands, we lived in Germany, and then all over the U.S. And so taking some of my favorites from around the world, really, and just kind of put it together into what we've got in front of you.
All right, let's start showing them what we got. Start with this since it's closest to me and it looks amazing.
Yeah, so I think I get to do that one.
Yay.
That one is our loaded russet. So that, fun fact, is actually a secret menu item. Never will it ever appear on the board outside of our food truck. So the people who research our truck and find it on our website come up and they're like, oh yeah, I know what's up. I know about the loaded russets. So that essentially is the combination of these two sides that you can kind of see the full picture of over here. Our rustic russets, which is like our secret trademark. We take a twice cooked potato, we deep fry it, season it with some secret seasoning blend, and then top it with our Nomad street corn, which is just basically Mexican elote corn that we cut off the cob. So it's some good fire grilled corn mixed in with all those yummy Latin ingredients, some jalapeno, some cilantro, cotija cheese, and a couple other things. And then we put it all together, top it with chili powder, and then put some good old bacon on it. And so we had one kid tell him that fries and anything loaded is dead to him now. And that is, it's just imagine that with a good old pint of your favorite cold beverage. It goes with anything.
Let's talk for a quick second about the container it comes in. So I made them take everything out and put it on plates because it shows better. But obviously on the truck, you're not getting plates. This is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Sure. So everything is compostable on the truck. We have 0 single-use plastic. As you can see here, he's got a wood fork. Goes down to the last details. After having kids and everything, kind of really opened my eyes to, it's not just about us. There are going to be future generations, and we need to do our part. And this is my chance to really step it up on a higher level than just myself.
Which costs a lot more money.
It does, but it is worth it.
Okay. I think you guys are saying this is like your...
This is our signature sandwich. It's called our Cajun Cordon Bleu. So we have blackened chicken, and it goes on a Hawaiian roll. Has Creole mustard, garlic aioli, ham, and Swiss. And it is like one of our delicious, delicious sandwiches. Everybody always asks me if it's spicy, and I am a spice wimp. It's not spicy at all. Like, I love eating this sandwich. It's got flavor spice, but not like the heat where you're just like, I can't feel my face now.
I still remember my first bite of that. I looked over at my wife and I was like, I love when a recipe comes together on the first try. I am not changing this.
You can feel your face with this sandwich.
I can feel my face with this sandwich.
That's the catchphrase.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that I'm going to pass on that one.
Oh.
All right.
Seriously? Yeah.
Okay. The one you've got on camera now is our Route 66 burger. That's got a little bit of our street corn on it, some cheddar cheese, and then, of course, green hatch chilies. And that is like the fall sandwich, kind of a little bit to our time in New Mexico and to our time in Colorado, because you can't get away from green hatch chilies in either of those places.
It is the leading contender. They're betting on what I'm going to choose
We're having
for
a
lunch.
competition.
That's where I was
Part of
putting
it
my
is
money.
we don't get a lot of burgers on this show because most of the food's coming from restaurants, so they're like, well, we can't bring them a burger; it's going to be gross.
Yeah.
But we cooked it right out
You
there.
cooked it right out there, so I'm going to go burger.
All right.
Question which one?
Now you've got my favorite sandwich up there. It's our Wanderlust Burger. I'm just a sucker for fresh mozzarella. So we grill our fresh mozzarella. It's got balsamic demi-glaze, lettuce, tomato, garlic aioli, and that's my sandwich.
Pickled red onions.
Apparently
Pickled
Josh-
red onions, yes.
Oh,
Red onions.
That
Give it that
pickled-
little bit.
Pickled red onions that we also make ourselves.
Yeah. And to the point, I mean, we've been...
What do you want me to throw it to you, John?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Apparently he's claiming it.
I don't blame him. I don't. So this one here in front of me is one of my favorites. I've been called a mad scientist for this one. It is essentially a Reuben Cuban love child.
Yeah.
So we've got our homemade pastrami on there. It takes me a week to make this. It goes from just a raw cut of meat to what you see before you within a week. Then we've got the pulled pork on there. It's our signature pulled pork. Takes about 12 hours to cook up. Put it all together, and then it's essentially built like a Cuban at that point. But of course, we've got to serve it with the side of our special sauce, which is along the lines of a savory Thousand Island, somewhere in that range. And then, of course, you got to get the street corn on the side with that.
That's what's great about food trucks is you can go any direction and it's acceptable. Why can't a restaurant make food like this?
Right?
That's a fantastic question. But we've been told many times we're not a food truck, we are a restaurant on wheels, which I feel humbled every time we're told that.
So I want to say about this Rubano, the first time I ever ate it, I cried. I like call myself a Rubano connoisseur. I mean, a Reuben connoisseur or a Cuban connoisseur. And the first time I bit into that sandwich, it was in the middle of a shift. I actually started crying and had to step off the truck to pull myself back together. It was my Guy Fieri moment. Now I get to do the classic sandwich. This one, honestly, y'all, is like, I mean, I feel like it's a sandwich that words can't describe. Everywhere you go, every burger has their special burger sauce and their cheese and something that is like their signature, and they all kind of look the same. Now, I'll tell you, we've had some people who are literal connoisseurs or professionals of other really well-known establishments come by and say that they really have enjoyed our burger because this special sauce that you see, it's 10 ingredients slathered all over that bun. There's a little bit of banana peppers on there that kind of cut through the richness of the special sauce. This one's actually a double. So any of our sandwiches you can make with a double patty. They're quarter-pound patties, so you can double it up, make it look a little bigger. We love to put bacon on that one. And then also to top that off is some caramelized onions that we just like let cook for hours in butter. And the longer they sit, the better they are. So if you ever come to the truck late at night and you order a Continental Divide, that's what that one's called, those onions are just going to be like...
Does it have mushrooms too?
It doesn't
No.
have mushrooms, no.
No?
So
No mushrooms?
what you saw was the
saw mushrooms.
onions. It was the onions that
Oh, those
were
were
just
onions?
they were just
Yeah.
real
Oh, I
cooked
thought those
in
were
that butter.
mushrooms.
No, they're onions. So that's what that is. It's literally just special sauce, caramelized onions, and then American cheese, and then these are our russets. And I'll tell you, 80% of we were at a brewery in Denver last night, and I say 80% of the burgers that people ordered were this because they were like, it was cold, and they were like, I just want the biggest thing that I could have, and they just loaded this up. I'm probably just gonna eat some of this if none of y'all do.
What?
But it's like it's good. I mean,
That's not cool.
I mean, I don't.
You get to eat this food all the time. We don't
but
get to eat it.
that's how
do.
you know that it's good. Like
Yeah.
every order of russets that goes out, I'm always like, I have to make sure that it tastes good. So I always grab one off the plate to make sure that you guys are getting the good thing because we just can't get enough of this food.
All right, everybody wants to know, where can they find you?
So easiest way, if you find us on rusticnomads.us, that's our website. I keep my calendar up to date.
Okay.
So you can find us all the way through mid next year. We've got a really full schedule, so that's the easiest way. We're
Okay.
in a lot of breweries. Our food pairs very
Where
well.
were you
with
last
beer.
night?
So last night
We were at
Long
Long Table Brew House in Denver.
Yeah.
Off of 27th and like Fairfield.
Yeah, the Park Hill area.
Park Hill,
And then tonight we're going to be at Landlocked.
I love Landlocked.
Yeah, they've got some fantastic beer there.
If you
So-
check us out on Instagram and social media, sorry to cut you
Yep.
off, we post our schedule every Monday, and so you can always find us there.
All right, well, this is the winner.
That's the
The
winner.
66, that's a good choice. Yeah,
I
fresh
would have won
Who's
some
this?
money here. I would have
That's-
won some money here.
All right. I mean, come on.
Do we like drum roll like
yeah.
the lineup, or how cheesy do we get to go here?
You can do whatever
This
you
is
want.
the review. This is
Yeah,
the
right.
real deal.
Pleasure to meet you. Thanks for coming
You as
in,
well,
feeding
Larry.
me
Thank
lunch.
you.
Yeah.
We'll be back at this tomorrow. Let's eat.
You know it's good when it's messy. Appreciate you.
exceptional.